evening, guys. I hope you're well after a day of fun in the sun. Really excited to read part 2 of our Easter story from Brian Wildsmith. If you haven't caught part 1, please go to our Ashbourne Elim Church website, where not only will you find our bedtime stories, but you'll find amazing resources for children. So please check that out. There'll be lots of fun things for you to get into then. So if you're ready, if you're sitting comfortably and snuggled up with a blanket, then we'll begin our story. We're going to join them on the eve that Jesus was betrayed. So we've followed Donkey along this story. So let's see what happens next. After supper, the little donkey followed Jesus and his friends to the Garden of Gethsemane. Jesus said to them, "Sit here and keep watch whilst I pray." The donkey sat and waited, but everyone else fell asleep. Suddenly, a crowd of people came into the garden. They were led there by one of Jesus' friends, Judas. They seized Jesus and dragged him away. At this, the rest of Jesus' friends left him and ran. The little donkey and Simon Peter didn't run away. They followed the crowd through the city. The little donkey watched as Jesus stood in front of Pilate and a huge crowd of people. "Are you the king of the Jews?" asked Pilate. "Those are your words," said Jesus. The priest then accused Jesus of many things. "Have you no answer to make?" said Pilate. But Jesus did not reply. "What shall I do with him?" asked Pilate. "Crucify him!" they all shouted. "Take him and crucify him then," said Pilate. "I wash my hands of him." So the soldiers took Jesus away. They put a crown made of thorns on his head, and they made fun of him. "Hail the King of the Jews," they said. They gave him a huge cross of wood and forced him to carry it. "If only I could help him," thought Donkey, very sadly. But a man came out of the crowd and helped Jesus to carry his cross. The little donkey followed as they led Jesus to a hill outside the city. There they crucified him between two thieves. Late that night, a rich man named Joseph asked Pilate for the body of Jesus. He wrapped it up in clean linen, but it was too heavy to carry. Joseph placed the body of Jesus on Donkey's back, and the little donkey carried it to the tomb, which had been cut out of the rock. Joseph laid the body inside and rolled a huge stone in the front of the entrance. Early on Sunday, 2 of Jesus' friends came to the tomb. But when they got there, they found the stone had been rolled away, and the body of Jesus was gone. The donkey saw 2 angels where Jesus' body had been. "He is not here," the angels said. "He is alive again." The woman left the tomb, and the donkey followed them until they came to the garden. A man was standing there. The woman thought it must have been the gardener. But little donkey, he knew who it was. Do you know? It was Jesus. The women were frightened, but Jesus said to them, "Don't be afraid. Run and tell my friends to go up to Galilee, and there they will see me there." Jesus' friends were so happy to see him again. He stayed with them for 40 days, teaching them about the kingdom of God. But Jesus knew that it was near for the time for him to leave this earth. As the sun rose one morning, he went up to his Father in heaven. The next day, one of Jesus' friends took Little Donkey back to his home, and the little donkey stayed there for the rest of his life, remembering the kind and good man that he had carried on his back to Jerusalem. I love that story. I love the Easter story. It gets sad at some points, doesn't it? Anybody else think that? But then the most amazing thing happens. Jesus is alive. As we celebrate Easter together this Sunday, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have fun. And I hope that you remember that Jesus is alive. That was the story of the Easter story by Brian Wildsmith. Good night. Sweet dreams.